Marketing That Works is the podcast for business owners who want to move their brand forward so that they can bring in more sales and clients. I'm Danielle R, and I'm bringing you what I know from more than 12 years of experience in traditional and online marketing. I have created marketing strategies for businesses of all sizes, from multi-million-dollar corporations to early-stage online businesses. Remember, some marketers chase fads. I believe in mastering the fundamentals. If you're a service provider, the marketing advice you hear online just isn't for you. It's for coaches, course creators, and people with group programs. But today, I want to speak directly to my service provider friends because I know you've been trying to put in all the strategies that you hear and you feel like it's just not working for you. You're creating content, you're posting regularly, and it seems like it's working for other people, but not you. And that's because the strategies you hear just weren't designed for you. So let's talk, my service provider friends. Let's talk about why the strategies you've been doing haven't been working, what you should be doing as a service provider, and how to be intentional about the marketing work you're going to do. And if you happen to be a coach who's still listening, of course you can stay, because you might learn why you're getting clients, but not the ones that you actually want to work with. Now, let's start with why the coaching strategies aren't working for you as a service provider. It comes down to community and network. Your first clients tend to be people within your network, and coaching programs love saying leverage your current network to get your clients. That is great advice in many situations, but not always in the case of yours. And if you're anything like my service provider clients, your current community includes friends, family, and the people that you've met in a handful of group programs, courses, and online communities, all dedicated to helping you grow your business. You're in all of these group programs and communities for entrepreneurs trying to get their first client or hit new income goals, and that's great for connecting with peers. But as a service provider offering $1,500 per month retainers with a 3-month minimum, these are not the people who can afford to invest in your services, at least not yet. They aspire to work with you one day. You're on their vision board for next year, not their 90-day working plan. Working with you isn't their next urgent investment that will take their business to the next level. And right now, I bet you're hearing things like, oh my gosh, I love you. I love your content. You're so awesome. I would love to work with you next year. Like, that's totally on my plan. But that's next year. Next year does not pay today's bills. This reminds me of a VA client that I had who did content batching work and repurposing, and her situation is a perfect example of all of this. She put out a ton of great tips and advice and content about her services, but she just wasn't getting inquiries for new clients. Why? Because her audience was made up of a lot of other new VAs and business owners who just didn't have the budget to work with her. The people that she met in programs about launching your first offer or about making your first 5K month, they loved the free value that she was putting out in her content, but they just simply weren't in a position to have a 3-month minimum monthly retainer premium service. So you hear all of that and you're just like, yes, this is exactly me. This is the situation that I'm in. So what's the solution? How do I go about growing my networking community to have more people who are ready to buy my services right now? Before we go any further, the first thing that you need to do is get crystal clear about who your service is designed for right now. Who would be the most likely to buy and benefit from the packages that you have at your current pricing? Let's work through this with an example. Let's say you're an experienced Facebook and Instagram ads pro, and you've been looking to get more people to hire you for your custom ad strategy. You know how to get results, but so far people have been saying that they're interested, but they can't afford to hire you. So you decided, let me do a DIY course or something. But really, you know that you just want to work one-on-one with people to grow their businesses through ads, getting amazing conversions. If this is you, you've done something similar, I want you to think more like an ads person. You need to think about targeting. You need to get ridiculously specific about the demographics, the revenue, the growth stage, the pain points about the person that you want to help. You need to really visualize the business and the real person behind it who you want to work with as a dream client. So that's what I want you to do right now. Take a moment, pause this if you need to, and think about who has the current need for your service and the budget to back it up. Going back to our ads person, they realize that they need to be working with six-figure wellness course creators who have a solid funnel, but they need better ad campaigns to nurture leads and drive sales. And before, they were just focusing on people who had a wellness business in general. They weren't thinking about the fact that, the people who can work with me, they are doing better in their business and they can afford to have an ongoing monthly retainer. Whereas before, it's just like I had a great connection and I loved working with people that care about health and wellness. Not thinking about the fact that I'm running a business, I need to get paid, I need to go after people who can regularly pay me. You see, now when you're clear about who it is that you need to be working with, planning out your marketing activities becomes so much easier because you know who you need to talk to, you see the gaps in your network, and you see who you need to be talking to in your specific marketing content. Now, after you're clear about who it is that you're talking to, you've got that very crystal clear picture, you have all that demographics down, you're probably going to realize that I'm not actually connected with any of these types of people. That's okay. And that does not mean that you'll never be connected with these types of people, but it does mean that you need to take some intentional steps to create that network as a service provider. Now, being intentional at this phase, it doesn't mean, it has to be so time consuming. It can really be as quick as 20 minutes a week of intentional time finding the people you need to be connected with. Okay, let's go back to our ads person for wellness course creators. They might not know who all of the big people are in the course creation wellness game, but this is where they can leverage their existing network. And I know we said before that the people within your current network might not actually be the people who are going to be the best fit, but that does not mean that they can't help you reach the people that you want to work with. This is where you're going to be asking for names of businesses. You're going to be asking for podcasts, and you're going to use that information people provide you to do your own research. You can do this too for your own business. You can go out and decide here are the people that I want to work with. If you're a photographer and you want to get into influencer photography, you can ask your people, hey, who are some of the top influencers that you love following? Not that they have a personal in or connection with them, but that could be people that you start to pull up and look up. Maybe it's at a local level. Maybe it's on this big global level. Having these names is a great starting point for you to do your own research. What you're going to do is you're going to start following them on social media, engaging with their content, joining their communities if that's possible and available to you. And for our ads person, they're going to be looking at what are the scaling course creators going? What are they doing? Is there a podcast that all of those people listen to? Is there a business coach they all identify with? This is how you're going to solve your community problem. You're looking to fill up your community with the people you want to serve. So start building that up. Going back to our Facebook ads person, what I'd have them do is make a list of 5 to 7 wellness course creators who recently had a launch or are just now offering new product lines. Who are they following? Who are they getting mentored by? I want you to do the same for you. Make a list of 5 to 7 people within your area that you're just okay, here are the types of people that I want to work with, and here are the communities that they are a part of. They seem to be going towards this particular mastermind, or they seem to be listening to this podcast all the time. They are always mentioning that. Follow up, write those things down, get engaged with them. Something I say a lot is your marketing is going to get stronger and sharper the more time you spend in community with the people you want to serve. You need to be intentional about spending time and listening and understanding what people at this level are doing. So once you do your research about who are the people you need to be in community with and start following them and knowing who the players are inside that niche, it's time for you to start getting in front of them. I'm talking about getting FaceTime with them through events, collabs, speaking engagements. The biggest problem you have right now is that your audience isn't filled with your dream clients. Doing this type of work of collabs and speaking is the best and the fastest way to solve that problem. And I love this because it doesn't require a daily posting strategy, simply getting in front of the right people. This is why I wanted you to spend time getting so clear about who it is you want to work with. This is why I wanted you to get the names of the big players and their podcasts and know what their communities are all about. because I don't want you going to general events or general podcasts saying like, hey, I'm going to speak here. I want you using your time wisely. I want you to have a strategy that's going to work even if you're in a busy client delivery season. Going back to our ads friend, she should be focusing on getting one guest speaking gig talking about how ads can improve your course launch and one podcast talking to wellness people about something very similar. And during each of these types of speaking engagements, she's going to be getting in front of the people and telling them to follow her on whichever social platform she's on, whether it's LinkedIn or Instagram, or telling them to join her email list. And what she's doing by getting people to fill in her email list and to fill in on her social media platforms is she's getting in front of the actual people that she wants to help and not relying so much on speaking to an audience that really can't afford to work with her. Then when your audience is actually filled up with these dream ideal clients, the content that you're going to create is going to be directed specifically at them. Because before you were probably speaking to the person that you wanted to serve, but your audience wasn't filled with them. You are solving both of those problems right now. You're talking to the right people and you're creating content for the right people. I actually go into a lot of detail about how to grow your audience and your business on other people's platforms in episode 10 of this podcast. That would be a great place to go if you want some more examples and tips about how to do this. And it works well for both service providers and coaches. So now that you know that the core of everything is building out the right community, you know how to define the communities that you want to get a part of, and you know what to do to get in front of the right people, I want to give you a bit of a schedule of what you should be doing to make sure that you're filling up your schedule, doing the right things that are going to make the biggest impact. So first, I want you to spend 10 minutes writing out the full profile of the ideal person you want to be working with. This is where you're getting very specific about what's the revenue that your person needs to be making in order to afford your packages. What are the challenges that they're having? What's their business model? What are some of the detailed pain points? Get super clear and specific about that, because that is going to inform how you're going to go about pitching and proposing, speaking together. Next, you're going to reach out to people within your own community to see if they know people who fit this specific profile. Then based off of that, you're going to do some research. You're going to search on LinkedIn. You're going to search on Instagram. You're going to use good old-fashioned Google. You're going to then pull up a list of 5 potential partners to explore doing some co-marketing activities like a Instagram Live together, or guest speaking inside of their own group program, or doing a workshop together. Really with the focus of serving the people who are your dream ideal clients. And then once you have this list of 5 to 7 people, go and introduce yourself, suggest the collaboration, come up with here are the pain points and the reasons why people would really love to hear about this topic. And this will allow you to grow your network of people who are so ready to work with you today. Not a couple months from now, not a year from now, today, because you are so specific about who it is that you're trying to help and the value that you bring to them. And most importantly, you're talking to people who are going to have the budget to do it. So if you're a service provider who has struggled to attract your ideal clients consistently, let's work together. Through my one-on-one marketing and messaging program, The Blueprint, I'll help you implement everything we just covered in this episode. We'll get hyper-focused on profiling your perfect client and their biggest pain points. Then we'll map out a strategic plan to insert yourself into the right communities, get the right collaborations, and get the visibilities, opportunities, and things that you need to start bringing in the right audience. You'll learn how to get in front of more of the right people and then start creating content that immediately resonates with them so that they can take action to start working with you. So if you're ready to stop spinning your wheels and start attracting dream clients who are excited to hire you right now at your full rate, go to the show notes and book a call to learn about joining The Blueprint. This 3-month one-on-one private program is going to be the best place for you to get super clear on who it is that you're working with, how to get in front of the right audiences, and make sure that you're creating content that really helps to showcase your expertise. All right, y'all. Until next time, I'll talk to you soon. If you want more marketing that works right in your inbox, head to the show notes and sign up for the email list. You'll be the first to know how you can work with me on mastering your marketing.